Baby, I can tell you many things, and you can't believe what you want to. You could read every book in this world, and you can't believe what you want to. Hey, miss, money falling, once he falling down. Hey, hey, true song. But it's really a choice to you. When it gets down to it, you'll only really have like one choice. But you also have the choice to switch your choices. And you're here until you die, or at least that's what they told you. Or maybe you're just here. And technically, it dawned on me, myself, like a training, an experience, just to indulge in it. It's something more to be thankful for. Rejoice to the source, creator of all things. Oh, oh, oh. But look, see, I just thought to myself, like, we entertain angels and don't know it, but what if some of us are angels and have not yet realized it? The same way most people can understand or realize they're on demon time. Take that one in. Hey, if you see anything you might actually feel like watching, I would hope that it be this, and you check out Josie Fuller's contemporary mix, and you would actually see that song. Baby. So this is me just bopping around on my iPad. One hand type of shit. I got like this secondary pen because I lost my original pen. And if you would like to know, I am actually filming this. And no, that's not my girlfriend. That's Alex White, a very talented artist who I met in Georgia. She's fine. Don't, pay attention. I did the photo shoot. Look, listen. Let's go. And she's a very talented singer. Boom. So, 9 and off of. Yo, this is the Apple A6, or Apple Mini 6 generation. That's what we're going to call it. Apple Mini 6 generation, But enough of what we're calling it and what it is and yada, 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 yada. I myself wonder, I think the same way, like, we don't charge animals, or do we? Do we not charge the animals? Are they not charged something? Is not there some sort of will of exchange? If we pay attention to things like alchemy and the circle of life, every meal costs you time. So everything technically costs you something. And if you don't capture that meal, you might take away time of life, expectancy in the wild. And that's for any creature. See, we wouldn't necessarily think of it as, the ducks living or the ducks having to pay a wage. No, I do. I think of it as the ducks having to survive. And that is your payment. Same thing for fish. So, all of the children shall prophesy, yet none of the prophecies shall come true. That's actually in the Bible, That's actually in the Enuma Elish. That's in a lot of books that, most people, only the true translator. So the person that has actually translated that those tablets and those books, and that person that has actually, taken the time upon themselves to read said books. You gotta read the books. If you haven't actually, read certain, read the actual Bible. Like, somebody challenged me and was like, yo, so you just read the book of Joshua? Ha! You are so ignorant to think that I would only read the book of Joshua and not take it upon myself to read all the way up to Revelations. And even if I don't meditate in this every day, I have at least read it a few times. And I am still currently reading it right now as I breathe. Not right now as I breathe right now, but I am meditating on certain passages. Does this make me a Christian? No. Does this make me a devout believer in any of the religious orders? No. This just means I am one who is fixated on world history. And while most people don't agree with what I am about to say, that book actually, what's a good word for it? It's a word, summarizes history of the world in an epic way. It's like a comic book of some sort, you know. Mind you, if you were to ask me exactly what I was drawing, I wouldn't know right now. And I would wonder why I didn't even go live with this. Like, what was my initial point? That now just doing videos to drop them and make them make sense, you know? And technically, I'm like, on another level in my life, sometimes, baby, rock the vibrations. I can heal it all in time. So, at one point, there were incredible beings who lived lengths of thousands of years. You know, we'll call them Shars. And no, I'm not going to call them the Anunnaki. I'm going to call them the Nibirians, because that's what they are. They came here and built great cities known as Atlantis and Onderon, as far as ancient Britannia as well, and all of the great temples. Most of the wars that you hear about in the past have something to do about with these beings. You can even tie and reference the Titans themselves to the Nibiruans. Even our celestial pantheon itself has a lot of similarities to their creation story. And, you know, most people won't look at it. You know, they'll say, it's blasphemous. That's completely blasphemous. Your life is blasphemous. But let's not dwell on past activities while, you know, our presidents and our people are having civil wars against each other. And no one but God can stop it, at least it seems. We lack the power ourselves because we don't want to see. We don't want to see responsibility to be ours. And that's the sad truth. You'd have to play that shit back to understand what exactly I was throwing at you. It's like to take responsibility. It's like ultimate. The molding and the shaping of the spirit to become a soul. What if spirits were the activation or the manifestation of the soul and everything that the soul wanted to experience, know, see, and feel in life? So in all actuality, you yourself are one of those suns that burn in the star that you in the sky that you see in the night sky. So bright. Those suns. You are just that. You're literally those suns. It's like what the man said. We're all like the deepest emotions of what the sun feels. And the earth is like a projection tool, you know? It casts like the image and the feelings and the emotions of the very sun itself. But the sun is not so conceited to just beam that message to you. It wants you to know that it itself has a creator that is over everything, that does not dwell within this universe. We will not see outside this universe, at least not through the conventional means, you know. The only way in is the same way you came, and that's through birth or rebirth. But the only way to be reborn is to die. And the only way to complete the actual rebirth process is to know the knowledge, whether innately or manually being told. And sometimes innately, the Bible is actually instructing the way, you know. And, you know, the mind will actually set everything else up the way it should be, because your mind is older than you are. At least that's the idea. Right? There has to be something more going on. We can't accept that this is it. We just can't. Because accepting that this is it is like accepting that God may not be real. And that the whole thing might be a sham. Just an elaborate hoax to pass the time as humans play on Earth. And I, for one, know that itself to be a lie. So if that's a lie, then it has to be true. So, we are all in the dark, and no one knows nothing except what they can comprehend themselves. And that's just how it is. And if it seems that you find too much or you discover more than a person needs to know about any of this, you might actually disappear. So it's best that any messages that, kind of resonate to you in any way that you find, you keep to yourself until you have a true, definition of what it is to explain that shit, That is all.